I can see where it could go terribly wrong.
You came out faster. You're more aerodynamic.
I stopped myself a little bit. I felt I could go.
I was trying to go fast.
You can go fast. I felt it. Hello. I just got back from PAX East in Boston. I played a lot of games. I ate a lot of food, a lot of noodles, drank a lot of coffee. Little Wulff is great. PAX is a great place to get your hands on a bunch of games, mostly indie games, that aren't out yet. It's also a great way to see some games you might not have heard of otherwise. And usually the developers are right there next to you, so you can just talk to them about their game. This year, I wanted to focus mostly on games that have playable demos that are just publicly available, so you can see it in this video and then just go right ahead and try it for yourself right at home. I mostly just walked around, scanned their Steam QR code, and played the game in my hotel room, so I didn't have to wait on any lines. And that worked out just fine for me. Most of these games are Steam games. All of them should work on whatever PC handheld you're trying to play them on. There were a lot of games that were running on PC handhelds at PAX. One or two of these games is a Switch 2 game. If you're more interested in Nintendo Switch 2 demos, just go to the eShop, sort by Switch 2 and demos. There are a manageable amount of pretty high-profile games with free demos that you can try for yourself right from there. Nintendo was there at PAX with a pretty big presence that was taking up a large portion of the right side of the convention hall. They had some of the biggest lines for Pokemon Champions, which is a free-to-play, turn-based, multiplayer-only game that comes out next week. They also had Pokopia, which I got in trouble for filming, even though it's out now. I don't know why people were playing that. And Mario Wonder DLC, which nobody cares about. Sometimes PAX has some pretty big names there. Nintendo is there most of the time. Sony has been there in the past. Square Enix had a pretty big presence just a few years ago. It's hit or miss. This time, if we're just talking about big publishers, a little bit of a miss. But there's always a strong showing of indie games, and this year was no exception. We're focusing mostly on Steam stuff with some Nintendo stuff sprinkled in there. The very first game that I got to play was Mina The Hollower, which is going to be on both Switch and Steam and everywhere else. This game did have a free demo on both Steam and Switch, but we missed it, and the demo's over now. And I can confirm that there will not be another demo, so that sucks, but it comes out any minute now. It was supposed to come out late last year, but it got delayed till spring, and it is now spring. And the footage that you're seeing right here is me playing the full build. It is basically done. And I even got to talk to somebody who's not at Yacht Club who said they're playtesting the game and they 100%ed it twice. So it's literally coming out any minute now. I played a demo of this way back in 2022, and a lot of what I remember from that demo 4 years ago is still here, which is good because I really liked that demo. What I like most is the fast movement. Burrowing into the ground is like an extended dodge roll, and it makes you go faster. So you can pull off some awesome moves with just that one mechanic. It's super fluid.
I think you might like the dodge pendulum too. It lets you dodge when you press X.
He does like to dodge. That's
Your phone calls?
That's known about him.
The whole game is like a cross between a top-down Zelda and a Castlevania with the weapons like the whip and your special throwing weapon. The movement is like nothing I can compare it to. It's probably gonna take a long time to figure out what to do and where to go in this game. There's like a hub area with branching paths to the dungeon type areas, and there's dungeon puzzles and whatnot. I think this is gonna be a very popular game this year, and this will be in the Game of the Year talks for some people. This year is a very good year for video games. It comes out spring, so any minute now. And I don't think there's a price yet, but if I had to guess, I would say somewhere between $20 and $30. That was probably my favorite game that I played at PAX, but this video is supposed to be about playable demos that you can play right now, and that game doesn't have a demo. Everything else that I talk about is going to have demos. I promise. Moldwashing was probably my second favorite game that I played at PAX, and this one does have a demo. Moldwasher is an isometric power wash simulator type game where you play as a kawaii little sushi. You move around various environments like a kitchen and the inside of a refrigerator, and you blast away mold that grows back unless you blast all of it. It scratches the same itch that like a power wash simulator does, or those levels in Mario Sunshine that make you want to scrub up every little inch of the level, even though it doesn't give you anything special when you scrub up every inch of the level. There's also a lot of unlocks, like different washers, but also music and little doodads for your hub world or whatever this is. This is one of them mindless, cozy games that could easily melt away a few hours.
You can put the stickers.
And if you think that hand is a baby.
What? And what do you buy with the money?
It's for later.
So, like, we can reach...
It just says that it's coming soon, so no price yet, but the demo is available right now. The mold washing demo is being run off of a docked Lenovo Legion Go first generation. I noticed a lot of these games were being run off of a PC handheld. Lots of Steam Decks floating around, lots of ROG allies. It looked like Asus might have even sponsored some of these games. It was kind of really cool to see so many out in the field like that. If you think about it, that's a lot more convenient than having to drag around a whole PC setup. Remember, a lot of these demos are pre-release builds that were just compiled last night. By the way, I'm going to link all the Steam pages for all of these games in the description below. They're not affiliate links, so use them or don't. I don't care. This weekend, I mostly hung out with Wood and my friend Jerry, who now makes YouTube videos, and I told him to come, and he had a good time, except for his wife leaving him. He told every single person that his wife left him.
No, she left me here the whole weekend.
Wow.
Yep.
We took the train up from New York, and I love taking the train, except the worst part about taking the train is having to wait for everybody to get to the train. He's always so late for everything. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I was getting a hot dog. Hot dog? It's 6 in the morning. And the sky's blue, and your beard's crooked, and no one watches you anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were just talking about obvious stuff. What is that? Paper towels. What, are we still playing this game? No, the bag. Oh, this? This is my sack. I never leave home without my sack. Telling me you leave home without your sack? Yeah, I think I do leave home without my sack. This video is sponsored by Bellroy. I've been using their Via Work Pack. I got this one because of its super minimalist design. I don't like having a lot of separators on the inside, so now I have room for all my little doodads and tchotchkes. I also love the handles at the top so I can hold it like a tote bag or wear it like a backpack. And the slip on the back goes right on top of my luggage. It's great. And I also requested their laptop sleeve for my new laptop with a nice magnetic edge closure. Both of these materials are water-resistant RibaWeave, made from 100% recycled textiles. Yeah, so what? I recycled this. What, did you steal that from the kids' relay race or something? Oh, he's still stating the obvious? Yeah, of course. The kids cried and cried. He stole my burlap. I don't care at all. I've liked Bellroy stuff for a while, and when they decided they wanted to work with me, I got really excited. They got a bunch of other stuff on their website too, like phone cases, small crossbody bags, and wallets too. You can get 10% off of this stuff and more over at bellroy.com by using the link in the description below or this QR code. Did you bring a charger with you? Oh yeah, sure, one sec. American or European? We're just going to Boston. Oh, bonjour. So which one is it? Just forget the whole thing. Okay. Ooh, I found a new pocket in here. Denshattack is not one that I saw at PAX, but I downloaded it in the hotel room and played it at night. I think it's been in 2 different Nintendo showcases. It's essentially Thumper, but without the rhythm part. You control a crazy train on a track, and you do tricks and moves depending on what's coming up on the track. Turn, jump, do a damn kick flip. It gets pretty hectic, and it's very satisfying when you nail every move. And the visual style and the music is sick, too. This has demos on Steam and the eShop, and it'll be out June 17th, and there's no price yet. What else? They had a Sandisk and a Lexar booth, because flash memory is all the rage right now. I can't imagine somebody coming to PAX and getting all excited for the Lexar booth. Lexar is one of the only companies with a 1 terabyte micro SD Express card, which is the card you need for the Nintendo Switch 2. I was pointing that out to Wood, and then the woman behind the counter said, buy it now because it's going to go up in price soon. Smiley face. That's the world we live in now. Buy it now, or else you're going to have to pay more later. Replaced is another game that was at PAX, but I actually played the demo about a month ago because I was already interested in it. I think this was in an Xbox showcase a few months ago. Maybe that's where I saw it because it's going to be a big Game Pass game this year. Replaced is a side-scrolling, modern pixel art game with beautiful lighting and visuals. One of those HD 2D situations, maybe. The environments all have a lot of depth, so it kind of makes you want to move a little bit on the Z-axis, but you can't. It's strictly two-dimensional. There's some stealthing involved and some basic combat with a basic attack and a counter button, but the combat also helps you build up a gun meter so you can just shoot someone in the face, kind of like a finisher. The 2D nature of the game makes the environments feel like little puzzles. I think the visuals are really what carries this game. Replaced comes out April 14th, so that's pretty soon, and the demo is out right now. You can just try it for yourself. Darwin's Paradox comes out today. This is that squid game you might have seen in some showcases, I think the PlayStation 1. This is Konami's next stealth game, so I was joking. This was a spiritual successor to Metal Gear. This was a joke. I was joking. The demo is heavily Metal Gear themed. You get a sneak suit like in Metal Gear. There's codec calls like in Metal Gear. There's even a Metal Gear. You know, like in Metal Gear. This is another two-dimensional game with beautiful environments. The level design in this game, honestly, I didn't love it that much. The stealthing kind of feels a lot like you're doing little puzzles. I do think the puzzles is when this game is at its best. But instead of coaxing you towards the answer to these puzzles, the game kind of just insta-kills you if you get something wrong. It kind of feels a little frustrating because of that. But the squid is cute, and the whole world is pretty, and I like Metal Gear. Maybe I'll like the full game a little bit more. It's gonna be just $25, and the demo is out right now, so you can play a little bit of Squid Metal Gear for yourself. When I first saw Awaysis, it was on Twitter, and I added it to my wish list that way, and then I saw it was gonna be at PAX, so I wanted to beeline it to there. My first impression was that this game is something like Sonic if you had a sword. And that is not entirely accurate. Raj, the developer there, pitched it to me like it's Gang Beasts meets Zelda 4 Swords. That's entirely different than the gameplay that I saw. There's a little bit of Sonic in that you can like slide down hills, but the game seems to have a pretty heavy focus on co-op multiplayer I wasn't expecting. It can get pretty hectic with just 3 people, but you can play up to 4, I believe. Despite how silly and floppy it looks, the combat actually feels pretty good. There's a parry mechanic that you control with the right thumbstick, and that's pretty cool. The characters don't feel as janky as something like Gang Beast. The jankiness just kind of comes from how comically big the swords are and how easy it is to knock your friends around by accident. Check out the demo now, maybe play it with some friends, and it just says it's coming soon. Not a game, but Hyperkin had a booth there, and they had the Modretro M64. This was, I think, the first public demo of the M64. It's the first time anybody besides like 2 cherry-picked YouTubers got to see the M64. I planned on doing a YouTube short for this, but I had to put that aside so I can make this video. This video is more important. This is a modern Nintendo 64 that you can plug in HDMI to a modern TV. The condensed first impressions here is that in its current state right now, it's a really bare bones analog 3D. It doesn't have any of the fancy filters or options that the analog 3D has. It might get those in the future with a firmware update, but if the Modretro Chromatic is anything to go by, it'll probably still be pretty bare bones. Otherwise, it's just fine. It's a fine console. They seem to be really focused on features that I don't really care about. It's got a much quicker turn on time than the analog 3D. It also has an eject button. That's cool. I'll be doing a full review of this with a comparison to the analog 3D when it comes out. There is still no date yet, but it is significantly cheaper than the analog 3D at $200, which is nice. I played a few more games, but this video is getting kind of long, so I got to rapid fire through some of them. How about a Switch 1 game? Not an indie game, but Tomodatchi Life, Living the Dream, is a Switch 1 game that comes out just next week. It has a free demo out right now. It's a silly me game, kind of like Animal Crossing, but it's heavy on goofiness. I made me and my dogs in the game. You're only allowed 3 people in the demo. I feel like this is going to be a good one for the memes.
Do you feel like talking about a man's warm crotch?
Sure, but let me ask you this. Let's say you're offered a large man's warm crotch or a small man's warm crotch. Which do you choose?
This is a good question.
Well, that's easy. I have to go with the large man's warm crotch, hands down.
Oh.
Of course you would. Everybody knows a modern-sized man's warm crotch is the only choice. I like the way you think.
Thank you.
I could honestly sit here and talk about a massive man's warm crotch for hours. Did we just become friends?
Okay. I'm glad that went good. There's already a lot of great memes online just from the demo alone. It seems a lot like Nintendo doesn't give a about the profanity filters on this one. That's the charm of the game. They want you to get weird with it. Tomodatchi Life comes out April 16th on Nintendo Switch 1, and it'll be $60, but the demo is out right now. The Secret of Weepstone caught me at the convention with unique visual style. It's a first-person dungeon crawler that is heavily D&D inspired. You pick a party of 6 people and guide them through a dungeon, solving puzzles and whatnot. Some of the puzzles and all of the combat has you rolling a d20. You know, like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, yeah, I know you know. I didn't want to assume that you're a nerd. There is some pretty great voice acting, which I'm grateful for because I don't want to be reading all that on my own. This game's not exactly my cup of tea, but I did enjoy my time with the demo. You will definitely be needing a mouse and keyboard for it, though. I don't think it works with a controller. The Secret of Weepstone will be out sometime this year, but the demo is playable right now on Steam. This might be one of the most beautiful games in the showcase. I saw this in an Xbox showcase last week, and I noticed it had a playable demo on Steam. So, The Eternal Life of Goldman is a side-scrolling adventure that has you controlling an old man, presumably Goldman. You have a cane that you can outfit with different abilities. Its main feature is the pogo, like in DuckTales. The level design is very unique, but the visuals are gorgeous. The way it plays with foreground and background, every screen has a million hand-drawn animations going on. It's absolutely gushing with life in every corner. It's awesome. This one just says coming soon, but it will be on all consoles, even Switch. It was in a Nintendo Direct last year, apparently. I think the demo is only on Steam, though. Just walking around PAX, I found a lot of great games that I just instantly added to my wish list. And I think it's really cool that most of them have playable demos that you can just try at home. At the very least, you got an easy way to kill 30 to 60 minutes. And that's for absolutely free. There were some other games that I played that I didn't include in this video because they were not great. I curated this list a little bit and I subsidized it with some other games that weren't at PAX, some games that I just wanted to play and I thought had good demos. Hopefully you found at least one game in this video that interests you. And if you did and you want to try it out, leave a like on this video. Thank you very much. Also, links to all of these games are in the description below, so if you like something, just go there, click on it, and you can instantly download them. Again, they're not affiliate links. I just like going to PAX every year, and I like discovering all these indie games I never would have otherwise seen. And I like talking to the developers. They clearly love showing off their passion projects. It's a totally different experience playing the demos with them next to you. So if you like indie games, this place is a great little indie showcase. What do you guys think about any of the games that you saw in this list? Were there any games with popular demos that I left out? Maybe I'm missing something. I tried to include everything. Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter, any and all this other social media garbage. Thank you to everybody that came up to me and saw me at PAX. I did do a signing, and I appreciate people waiting on the line for that. I talked to everybody for a long time. One time I did a signing, and my dad was there, and he told me I had to stop talking to people for so long. I stream some of these games over on twitch.tv/WolfDen, and I'm probably going to do some more, so turn on notifications on Twitch if you want to see when I go live over there. And we have a podcast. These are the podcast patrons that you see scrolling across the screen. Most important thing you can do to help support us is just subscribe to this channel, please. Thank you very much. And share this video with a friend, somebody who just wants some free demos to try out on their brand new device, like a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally, or maybe even a Switch. Thank you very much. Have yourself a good week.